Thank you so much, Mr. Co-Facilitator. As a formal member of the Swedish delegation for this negotiation session, I am honored to be addressing this forum on behalf of the Business and Industry Group, as well as the Global Business Alliance for Post-2015. I am also speaking on behalf of my company Sandvik, but also for 22 other Swedish companies and 3 expert organizations in a network called the Swedish Leadership for Sustainable Development, initiated and facilitated by the Swedish Development Cooperation Agency, SIDA. Together, we represent over 50% of the Swedish GDP. We promote the Sustainable Development Agenda in a number of ways, as part of everyday life in the societies in which we operate, as a supplier, as a customer of goods and services, as a provider of employment, and as well as a source of economic development, know-how, and experience. We recognize and possess the capacity to take the leading role in transforming the world towards a sustainable future. We are committed to developing quality products and services with a positive impact on societies throughout our value chains. Why do we do this? It's good for our business, which is why sustainability will remain a priority over the long term. The network Swedish Leadership on Sustainable Development is comprised of companies covering a wide range of commercial activities. There are many SDGs that represent key priorities, but SDG 16 on governance is a particularly important one. Last year, the network sent a joint letter to the UN Open Working Group stating the importance of fighting corruption. We also suggested a wording for such a target, and we are pleased to see that the Zero draft reflected our proposals on combating corruption and bribery and establishing accountable institutions. It is in our core business that our major contributions to sustainable development lay, not only in the philanthropic efforts. This process should recognize the growing impact of sustainable development in our core business plans and strategies, because it is in this facet that will ultimately determine the eventual success of the end SDGs over the next generation. An effective follow-up and review regime will be one of the key building blocks in developing a truly new agenda for global action. One of the success stories has been the exponential growth of companies and businesses over the last 20 years that are committed to annual and public reporting on their contributions to sustainable development. We are open to exploring next steps in that regard, in particular looking at how businesses' contribution can be most effectively integrated into the reporting and monitoring of progress of the SDGs. I thank you, Mr. Co-Facilitator.